Hello dear students. In this video we will be seeing some basic math operators in C language or arithmetic operators in C language. Now there are five math operators: plus for addition, minus for subtraction, multiplication is asterisk symbol, this is division slash operator, and one more called remainder operator, percent operator. So this is remainder operator. Slash gives you quotient. It gives you quotient after dividing two numbers. Now among these five operators, we are not going to discuss anything about plus, minus and multiplication. They are very basic and I think it will be insult of your intelligence to discuss them. But some few things can be discussed about slash, that is quotient, and percent, that is remainder operator. So let's see what is slash operator. So this slash means division or quotient operator. Now let's say I write 5 slash 2. Now this is read as 5 divided by 2. Now anybody would say 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. But in C language, 5 divided by 2 will be 2. Now the rule is when you divide an integer with an integer, of course 5 is an integer, isn't it? And 2 is an integer. When you divide one integer with other integer, result of division is always an integer. Let's say I divide 22 by 7. Everybody knows 22 by 7 is 3.14, but it will be 3. 22 by 7 has to be 3.14, but 0.14 will be simply scrapped and the answer will be 3. So what is going to be 2 divided by 5? What is 2 divided by 5? Has to be 0.4, but it will be 0. zero point 0.4 will be simply scrapped. So the first lesson about division operator is that when you divide two integers, the result is always an integer. Let's go for the other rule. Let's say I write 5.0 divided by 2, suppose. Now one of them is a float, numerator is a float, denominator although is an integer, but one of them is a float. Now the result of division will be perfectly a float. It will be 2.5. Let's say I write 22 by 7.0. Now at least denominator is a float, although numerator is an int, but denominator is a float. This time also division will be perfect and it will be 3.14. We'll get a floating point answer. Now what if I write 2.0 upon 5.0? Very nice. Both are floats. Numerator and denominator both are floats. This time the answer will be 0.4, which is a float. So if at least one of them is a float, numerator or denominator, rather both can be floats, then the result is always going to be a float. So remember this rule: if both numerator and denominator are integers, then the result is integer. If at least one of them is a float, numerator or denominator is a float, result is a float. Let's come to the other operator called remainder operator, percent operator. Percent is the remainder operator. Many people call this as mod operator. Now, most of the times we are interested when we divide two numbers, we are interested in quotient. But sometimes we are also interested in remainder. For example, if I write 5% 2, now we are dividing 5 with 2 and we are no more interested in quotient, but we are interested in remainder. Now, when you divide 5 with 2, remainder is 1. Now, I am really very sorry for this childish explanation. What we are doing here is we are dividing 5 with 2, isn't it? And we can say 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 and remainder is 1. You might wonder why we are not continuing the division by putting point and 5 and then 10. So 2 5s are 10 and the answer is 2.5. Rubbish. We are actually dividing two integers. What are these? This is 5 is an integer, 2 is an integer. When you divide two integers, result, the quotient can be an integer. You can't continue the division with putting a point here. So the remainder obtained is 1. Let's see. What if I say 14% 3? Now 3 into 4 is 12. 3 into 4 is 12 and what remains is 2. So 14% 3 is 2. What if I say something like 18% 10? Now 18% 10 is 8. How come? It is 10 multiplied by 1 is 10 and 8 remains. Now you see something interesting. If you divide any integer like 18 with 10, any integer when divided with 10, you always get last digit as the remainder. For instance, if I write 173% 10, what is it? Has to be 3 last digit, because 10 into 17 is 170, and what remains is 3, the remainder. So remember, any integer percent 10, the remainder obtained will be last digit always. Let's continue with one more question on percent operator. What if we are asked what is 2% phi? Now 2% phi is 2. Again, I am sorry for this childish explanation. What we are doing is we are dividing 2 with 5. Now you just see that we can't even start the division. To start the division, we will have to put a point here, isn't it? But we can't put a point here because we are dividing two integers, and in the result of two integer division, the result is always an integer. The only thing we can do is we can say 5 zeros are 0 and remainder is 2. Division is impossible. So whatever is the numerator itself is the remainder. Now, one very nice thing that you can observe here is if you are dividing two numbers and obtaining the remainder in such a way that left hand side number is less than right hand side number, then don't waste your time in evaluation. The result is simply going to be the left hand side. So in case you are asked 13% 17, no need to waste your time. 13% 17 is going to be 13% 17 is going to be 13, because 13 is less than 17. Any lesser value percent larger value will always give lesser value as the answer. One more question: what if somebody asks you what is 13% 5% 13.5% 2.5? Rubbish, you say. This is wrong. Percent operator can work only with integers. You don't use percent operator with floats. Now 13.5 and 2.5 both are floats. When you divide two floats, remember, when you divide two floats, you always get floating point answer and the division is perfect. So there comes no question about remainder. So basically percent operator can be used can be used only within. Just remember this. Now, once we have seen these five basic operators, plus, minus, star, slash, and percent, let's understand precedence, precedence of these operators. Now, you all know BODMAS rule very well. The same thing I am explaining here just for revision. Now, in the precedence, what is necessary to understand is multiply, divide, and percent. These three operators, are from the same family and they have higher precedence. These operators are having higher precedence. Now, all of them have equal precedence. Remember, star, slash, percent have same precedence, but precedence of all these operators is higher than plus and minus. Plus and minus are from the same family, but they have lower precedence, lower precedence as compared to star, slash, and percent, but they have equal precedence, plus and slash. Just to understand this, let's see a very simple expression like this. Suppose I have z is equal to, I am writing something blah blah. Okay, let's see, 10 plus, let's say I have uh, 2 2 multiplied by 4 minus, let's say I have, say, 16% 17, then again plus, and I have say 6 upon 7. So what is going to be the answer for this? Now there are so many operators in this. So which operator will see solve first? Now you know that star, percent, and slash have equal precedence and their precedence is higher. Then which one out of these will be solved first? Remember, left to right associativity is used. Now here all three are having same precedence. Then whichever comes first from the left hand side will be solved first. Among star, percent, and slash, multiplication will be done first. So what we are left out is with 10 plus 8 minus 16% 17 plus 6 upon 7. Now we have plus, we have minus, we have percent, we have plus again, and division. You know that percent and division now are having highest precedence, but precedence of both of them are equal. Then which one will be solved first? Obviously the one which comes first from the left hand side. So percent will be solved first. 16% 17, don't waste your time. 16% 17 is 16. So 10 plus 8 minus 16 plus 6 upon 7. Now plus, minus, plus, and slash is remaining. Of course, slash is having higher precedence. 6 upon 7. 6 upon 7 will not be 0 point something. Remember, we are dividing two integers here. So the answer will be 0 here. So we are having 10 plus 8 minus 16 plus 0. Now plus, minus, and plus is pending. Now plus and minus are having same precedence. Which one will be solved first? The one which comes first from left hand side. So 10 plus 8 will be done, which is 18 minus 16 plus 0 you can cancel out. So 18 minus 16 is 2. So according to BODMAS rule, multiply slash percent have equal precedence but higher than plus and minus, have equal precedence but lower than star and slash. Many more operators will be seen in coming videos, and it will be really interesting to see how these operators mix up with each other. Thank you very much.